Welcome back to this new video of the now world-famous series How About Living in? Le Pays de Fayence is a natural region located on the eastern edge of le département du Var, the Var state. But Christian Dior isn't the only one to have found his dream home in Montauroux. We are proud to have helped Traci and Marc Robinson find their magnificent home here in Montauroux. And I'm glad to share some views of their house and also their testimony, if you haven't seen it already, in my YouTube channel. And by the way, guess where I'm staying while I'm doing this video in Montauroux for the weekend?
Hey Fabricio, I'm Marc Robinson. It's my beautiful wife Traci Robinson. And we were lucky to find Fabricio Carminati and Laurent from FRH to find this beautiful property of ours today. Would you like to tell more about it?
We're in Montauroux, and at our new house. We are delighted to be here. It was a wonderful experience actually working with FRH. We were able to find the house of our dreams, and that because we had developed a level of trust with them, they were able to find a home that we never saw in person until we actually came for the inspection the day before. But because of the walkthrough that we did with the virtual video session, as well as all of the conversations we'd had based on research, we felt very comfortable in making that decision, even though we'd never been there physically.
And how did you like the house?
It was better than we even imagined once we walked up to the house. We were, I won't say surprised, we were awed.
I think the greatest what you'll find with FRH is their true professionalism, their dedication to their customers, especially with the unique needs. They view themselves as a team. So the team together works to meet all your needs and requirements.
And we were able to ask all of those questions, but they made it as painless as it possibly could be.
And we want to thank Laurent and Fabricio for the outstanding professionalism and business partnership that we had together.
All right, guys, so why not visit Traci's and Marc Robinson's house in Montauroux? Are you ready for this? Okay, we're going to start with the inside, and then we'll go around the garden, okay? Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Callian, perched at an altitude of 325 meters, owes its charm to the narrow streets spiraling around the feudal castle just behind me, built between the 12th and 13th centuries, which housed the families of the Seigneurie of Grasse. From the church of this charming village, you can enjoy a breathtaking panoramic view of the Tanneron and Esterel ranges and the village of Montauroux, which we have just left. Callian has attracted many artists and writers, including the painter Edouard Gorgue, whose Château, you can see behind me, has been transformed by the town in a modern media library and a tourist office. This media library also runs literacy workshops to combat illiteracy and ensure links between generations. It is also seeking to capitalize on the photovoltaic solar power plant with publications designed to explain the issues involved in the energy transition. In 2009, the local authority obtained permission to build a photovoltaic solar farm on a 17-hectare site on the route de Saint-Césaire-sur-Siagne. The 7.4 megawatt plant went into operation in 2011, producing green electricity for the area. A number of cultural festivals and fairs are held in the area, which is home to a number of cultural associations. Tourism is highly developed in Callian, particularly in summer. Come here, amore. Ma ciao. Ciao. Come ti chiami? Mi chiamo? Meow. We couldn't leave Callian without rubbing the snout of the lucky little pig that hides in the clock tower. Its motto is « Oh, toi qui viens de loin, si tu te frottes à mon groin, à coup sûr, très grand bien, à jamais sera tien. » Which means, oh you who comes from afar, if you rub my snout, you're sure to be very lucky forever. And here's the little pig, and I'm going to do it because I want to be lucky forever. Et voilà, little pig. Ta-da! I'm super, I want to be super. I stay here all day. Voilà. Mons is a wise old man dominating the Pays de Fayence from the top of its 814 meters. People have lived here since prehistoric times, as evidenced by the dolmens that can be seen on walks in the heart of nature, but not that far from the present-day village. Mons stretches from the confluence of the Siagne and Siagnol rivers at an altitude of 241 meters to the summit of Mont Lachens at 1,714 meters, the highest point in the Var department, called Le Toit du Var, the Var's roof. And from Mons, we have this magnificent view over the countryside and up to the sea. So what you can see just behind me, actually, it's Bay of Cannes, and Les Îles de l'Érins is just right there behind. Let me show you. Just right there. You see the islands there, you see the last mountains, and the sea and the islands just behind. Beautiful. As a result of the epidemics that plagued the area, as well as the rest of Europe, the population was decimated and it was necessary to call in foreigners from the Ligurian hinterland, the Figuns, who came mainly from the province of Ventimiglia and were so called because they were probably traders in dried figs, which were the sugar and honey of the poor at the time. They were excellent masons and greatly contributed to the construction of the village and its ramparts. As well as the stones they piled up and the cultivation of the olive tree, the Figuns left another trace of their passage, their language, a mixture of Ligurian and Provençal, which is still alive in Mons. In this land, where the boundary between past and present is very thin, there are still traces of the passage of the Romans. You can still see the remains of the Roman aqueduct just behind me there, which just went through it, that ran from Mons to Fréjus and was built in the 1st century AD. 42 kilometers long, it supplied water to the Roman town of Forum Julii, the Forum of Julius, the city called now Fréjus. The water was drawn from the springs of the Siagnol, the Mons, tributary from the Siagne. Around 5 kilometers of this aqueduct, a listed historic monument, is still in use today. The Roman catchment has disappeared beneath the present-day installations, but it is possible to see the remains of the fantastic walks that can be taken from Mons, like the one we're doing today, passing actually in the aqueduct. So here we are in the middle of the Roman aqueduct, and as you can see here, basically you can see all the end carvings here. This is how they went through the rock manually. Imagine the work. It's crazy. Well, I know it's hard to leave this heaven of peace, but we have to go to our next stop, next village of the Pays de Fayence. Let's go! Cheers from Tourrettes. I'm staying in Place de la Mairie, this beautiful place with a nice breathtaking view, and we're going to go to the little streets of this village in a moment. At the top of the hill you can see the Château du Puy, a perfect replica of the cadet school in St. Petersburg. It was built by Alexandre Fabre, an engineer sent by Napoleon I to the Tsar to lay out roads within the vast Russian Empire. In this labyrinth of narrow streets, the old stones are steeped in history, like the bust of Marianne, symbolic figure of the French Republic. What you see just behind me there, it's a replica of the original bust sculpted by Jacques France, of which only 200 copies exist. But the Brigitte Bardot Marianne is much more sexy. Anyway, one of these copies is kept in the council room at Tourrettes Town Hall. I have a story to tell you about the creation of this bust. On the model that the sculptor Jacques France had submitted to a committee of which Victor Hugo was chairman, the headband in the scarf bore Masonic insignia. Victor Hugo opposed these symbols. "The Republic is secular, no religions, no Masonic societies," he said. And so, it was that symbols were replaced by the dates of the 3 French revolutions. Vive la République and Vive la France! In the heart of the village, in a unique setting, facades, doors and shutters have been abandoned to the hands of over 70 talented artists, creating an unusual gallery. Luminous landscapes, mischievous portraits, shadows, lights and silhouettes, shimmering mosaics, metal sculptures or doors with bronze reflections. From realism to abstraction and surrealism, every artistic discipline is represented and turns the village into an open-air art gallery. Tourrettes hosts also the Terre Blanche Resort, which is a 300-hectare haven of peace in the heart of unspoiled nature, offering 115 suites and villas, a majestic spa, and 2 championship golf courses. Inspired by the magnificent unspoiled environment of Terre Blanche, the architect Dave Thomas has perfectly integrated the Château and Rio golf course in the natural landscape, respecting the valleys, ravines, lakes and forests. It hosts international competitions such as the Terre Blanche Ladies Open, which took place in April. Terre Blanche Hotel Spa Golf Resort has just been ranked 11th in the world's top 100 golf resorts by Golf World. Terre Blanche joins such renowned establishments as Pebble Beach, Pinehurst, Turnberry and Glen Eagles. If you like golf, Tourrettes is definitely your destination.